Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Colorado Rockies rebuild franchise here on MLB The Show 24. In the last episode, we endured the Year 2 offseason, which was headlined by acquiring Luis Robert Jr. from the Chicago White Sox, in which we sent Chase Dollander, a star pitching prospect, Drew Romo, a top catcher prospect, and there we see the Robert there in the dugout with his new teammates. And we also sent Elehuris Montero in that deal to the White Sox. We also signed Aaron Civale as we missed out on Dylan Cease in that sweepstakes as he elected to go with the Texas Rangers. And we also reconstructed our bullpen as our Rockies are now set to be a legit contender, we hope, in the National League. Last year finished just one game out of a wild card spot with an identical record to the Diamondbacks and Padres, as we're now here in the Year 3 spring training, as we're set on this journey of hopefully clinching our first playoff spot in this series. Brandon Pfaadt on for the Diamondbacks, and we're now underway officially in Year 3 as we look to make the postseason this year. It all starts here in spring training, as I think our roster is, for the majority, we have pretty much an idea of what the 26-man roster is going to be, but that's not to say a player here in the spring can show out and maybe earn a spot. So 1-1 here to Joe Adelis. He goes oppo there on the third pitch of the at-bat, right to Corbin Carroll. Good wood, but one away here in the first inning. There we see the Rockies lineup. Sterling Thompson batting second, and he came on very strong last year. I think batted .380 or so in 89 at-bats as a late call-up, and he's certainly in line, you would think, to secure his first opening day roster spot. Here's Sterling Thompson, who spent a good part of this series in our minor league system. First pitch swing in there, a hard ground ball to short. I believe that's Perdomo. And then two quick outs here in the first. And now here's Ryan McMahon, was batting over .300 for most of last season, and then it dipped down to .290, still a very respectable average for the lifelong Colorado Rocky. Looking at the first pitch there, ball one. McMahon just one more year on his contract after this season. I'm not sure if he's going to be someone we extend at his age. Swinging there on the 0-1, fouled off. Now 1-2 after a swing and a miss on a high fastball. And a swing and a miss, that curve got us silly, or made us look silly at least, as 1-2-3 in the first. And in this first spring training game, we're just going to go down the lineup one time, getting at bat with each of these starting players in this lineup versus righties. But after that, we'll just quick manage the rest and see how we fare. Now here in the top of the second, Nolan Jones to lead us off. 23 home runs last year, hit .285, hoping to see a little more of a leap this season, his third full year with the Rockies. Swing and a miss there at the fastball. It's now 0-1. We'll fast forward in this at-bat, a 2-2 count to Nolan Jones. He's going to send that one to the left field, and Gurriel Jr. right there to make the catch. And here's Pavin Smith, only about 50 at-bats last year at the MLB level, a spring training invite from last year, and he absolutely tore it up. So we'll see if he can repeat that. First pitch swing a little late there on the sinker. A good pitch he could have sent, but right back to left field, and there's now two away in the second. Yanquiel Fernandez now set to bat. Probably going to be an everyday player for us here. His first full season we expect at the MLB level. Was called up maybe in July or so last year and hit the ball very well. And I think he's earned a spot going forward. Now an 0-1 after the swing and a miss. That time a ground ball to short. Another play there by Perdomo, fires to first. And 6 straight retired here in the spring training debut. And now we're here for the last inning of this opening game. Just wanted to get some at-bats, some reps in, and kind of move along this spring training. So here's Ronald Cabrera, who spent a good part of last year as our backup catcher with the injury to Drew Romo and Jason DeLay, or actually Danny Jansen as well. We had a ton of catching injuries. So Ronald Cabrera, who was a draft pick from year 1, was kind of thrown into action. Very good contact catcher with a switch hitting capability. Staying patient here, looking at 3 straight balls, and we might be onto our first base runner of the game. Looking all the way there on 3-0 as Pfaadt gets a strike in there. I think it's Pfaadt, right? I would assume that's how you pronounce that name. And then Ronald Cabrera going to work the walk. Never took the bat off his shoulder as we had the leadoff man on. And now here's Michael Toglia, spent all of last year in AAA trying to earn back a roster spot. Strike one thrown in there by Pfaadt as Michael Toglia. Another switch hitter here at the bottom of the lineup. I think Audio Amador on deck. There's 3 straight switch hitters here to end the lineup as Toglia will hammer that into the gap. that's still carrying, and it just bounces off the wall. Cabrera going to round third, head for home, and that's an RBI double for Michael Toglia. And maybe that's the start of something here for him in the spring. A perfect there by Michael Toglia. And now here's Adiel Amador. If you're familiar with this series, you saw us tear it up with Amador in not last year's Futures game, but also the Futures game prior to that. In year 1 and year 2, we earned Futures game MVP honors, raking with Adiel Amador. Swing and a miss there. We're down 0-2 early. And maybe not what we expected here. The number 25 prospect in baseball, I think the second in the organization. Although he is going to go down 3 straight strikes. And I believe this is his first MLB action. I don't think he was on the spring training roster last year. As not a good at-bat there from someone we have very high hopes for as maybe our shortstop of the future. Although Ezekiel Tovar is already signed long-term, so kind of a logjam at that spot. We'll just kind of finish out this third inning here. And then quick manage the rest of the way. Joe Adell on, who projects to be a platoon outfielder, primarily bat against lefties, although not terrible against righties. Acquired him last year from the Angels in the German Marquez trade. Good eye there. Now 2-1, just inside, as Michael Toglia sits at second in scoring position. Now a 2-2 count. And Adell just looking right at that one, not sure what we're looking at. Fastball up right over the plate. Should have totally been offering at that one, but we kept the bat on our shoulder, and that'll bring up Sterling Thompson now. Totally going to have a good lead there at second. Thompson look at the first pitch sinker. Some good movement there. It's now a 1-2 count to Thompson. And a swing and a miss. Swung over the changeup. That was another good pitch to hit, but we're going to quick manage the rest. At least we were able to get some run manufactured here on a Toglia double, as he absolutely lined that one to the wall. Almost went yard, just a few feet shy, as the Rockies now lead 1-0. And now we're here to quick manage the rest of the way. Ryan Rolison got the start here in the spring training debut. Still no runs allowed. His third strikeout, and then he gives up a home run to Perdomo. So we'll see if he can at least get out of the inning. A 2-out single to Corbin Carroll, a stolen base, and then a fly out. So now it's 1-1, top of the fourth, and we'll just kind of move it along here fairly quickly. A 1-2-3 inning there. Now we'll go back to the bullpen here, or not back to the bullpen, but to the bullpen for the first time. And we'll go with, I'm not really sure who I want to go with here. Should we just go, we'll go Feltner. Ryan Feltner kind of, pitching for his life right now as a Colorado Rocky. Just barely retained him over the offseason as he struck out the first 2, and then a solo home run to Bobby Dahlbeck. Now top of the 5th. I noticed Nestor Cortez was in the game now, a Diamondback. And Adiel Amador, another strikeout. We'll keep Feltner in for maybe one more inning. Back-to-back singles to start a double play, and then a ground out. So it does get out of that jam. Now top of the 6th. And we go down 1-2-3. We'll go back to the... we'll give Feltner a few more batters here, see if he could get out of the inning. A double there to Moreno. And then a strikeout fly out. A single from Nolan Jones, and then an RBI double from Pavin Smith. As I mentioned, he absolutely tore it up last year. And then a 2-run home run from Yanquiel Fernandez. You love to see that. Now 4-2 Rockies, as we then went down 3 in a row after that. So bottom of the 7th, up by 2. Let's go with a lefty here. We'll bring in Gregory Soto, one of the relievers we signed in the offseason. See how he does here, kind of in a setup role. A 2-out single. And then it gets a strikeout. Now Joe Adell up to lead us off here in the top of the 8th. Let's see if we can get some insurance runs. A home run there from Sterling Thompson. Ryan McMahon reaches on an error. We'll go pinch runner. We'll bring out Kyle Datris, a little bit of an upgrade there on the base pass. Jones a single, an error, and now bases loaded for Yanquiel Fernandez. He gets an RBI single. Now Ronald Cabrera, and he strikes out. So now it's 6-2. And we'll go back to the bullpen, kind of just give these guys 1 inning each. We'll go Scott Barlow, another one of our offseason additions to the bullpen. Well, that's a 1-out single. Strikeout. Looks like he allowed a hit, but runner was thrown out. So now top 9. Let's just get out of this one with a win. Amador's going to go 0 for 4 in this one. And now we just need 3 more outs. We'll go Lucas Gilbreth. And he gets 2 strikeouts there as the Rockies win our spring training debut. of year 3, and hopefully that's a sign of things to come this season. A win is always a great way to start the new year, and for this spring training, we're just going to kind of sim ahead a lot. I think I want to get another game in where we kind of go down the lineup one time. This time we'll go against a lefty, so we'll just kind of sim ahead a little bit, and we'll check out this box score because Antonio Senzatella, his first action in almost 3 years, I think. He missed the last 2 due to injury. Pitches 3 scoreless innings, gets a strikeout, and we'll kind of check him out real quick. So he gives a $10 million cap hit, and we have him over the next 2 seasons at $10.1 million. Last time he threw a pitch was 2023, so he's kind of trying to work his way back onto the roster, although I don't know if we really have a spot for him unless he really just dominates in the spring, but a very good first start for him in his first action in a couple years. We lose there to Oakland, now at Milwaukee. We win that one 6-3, so starting off 3-1, you like to see that now against the Dodgers, and we have a key moment here in the bottom of the 8th as we have Jose Trevino, the new Colorado Rocky, up to the plate, and we actually do come back to win. So we'll check out this box score. Anthony Santander 2 for 2. Tovar had a hit with 2 RBIs. Adiel Amador 2 hits and an RBI. I'd like to see that. Amador with a double. Nick Senzel with a home run. Signed him. He actually spent last season with the Phillies, and John Curtis picks up the win. So 4-1. Very promising start here in spring training. Another late inning spot right here. 2 runners on for Danny Jansen, and we actually do fall there 4-3, and now Senzatella on for his second start, and we fell there 5-1 against the Angels. So Elly De La Cruz actually on the Angels. I don't remember that happening, but the trades in this game are absolutely insane. Only 2 extra base hits, and Senzatella 3 earned in 3 innings, 6 hits allowed. Not quite the performance he had his first time around. So now we have a lefty matchup here against Eduardo Rodriguez against the Cubs, who were our Year 1 World Series champions. Here we'll jump into a game with them, or against them, and we'll have, like I said, one time through the lineup. So this time it's going to be against lefties. Nick Senzel leading it off. Brendan Rodgers, Luis Robert Jr., 3 home runs and 12 at-bats already in the spring for the new Rocky. 2 home runs for Alonso batting cleanup. Tovar Trevino only batting .077. Looks to be our backup catcher, but I mean, we didn't really expect too much with the bat from him. More of a fielding presence there behind the plate, kind of commanding games, controlling games at the catcher position, kind of what we wanted behind Danny Jansen, so long as Jansen can stay healthy for the duration this year. But we're here for another game, and we'll have our lineup going against lefties here as we continue on in the spring. A very good start so far at 4-3. The Cubs at 3-4, although we have dropped our last 2. Looking to get back in the win column. Dansby Swanson still a member of the Cubs here as we start year 3. And we'll have the Rockies coming to bat as we are the away team here today. Eduardo Rodriguez, a member of the Cubs. 1 appearance so far, 4 innings, and a 13.5 ERA. So not a good first outing for Rodriguez as he'll look to pick it back up here in his second spring training appearance. I was going to say postseason. My mind is on the playoffs this year, if you can't tell. Here's Nick Senzel batting .500 in the early going here, leading us off against lefties. OPS at 1.286. Brought him along with his prowess against lefties. A first pitch swing there to Swanson at short. 1 pitch, 1 away here, as a good strong throw there from Swanson to nail Senzel. Nick Senzel, like I said, kind of taking the spot of Ahmed Rosario from last year, our utility man, but Senzel offers a lot more with the bat, although Rosario is very effective at the plate, but I don't know if he can sustain that type of production going ahead. I forget where he signed, actually. Now, Rogers is going to rope one there to center field, and he'll reach base with a single. Now, here's Luis Robert Jr., who we acquired in the offseason. That was kind of the big deal he made, sending Chase Dollander, Drew Romo, and Eleuteris Montero to Chicago, as we now have Robert for the next 2 seasons. The 0-1, that first pitch fastball got in there for a strike. And now a good eye there on the sinker, just low, as we're knotted up 1-1. Robert right up the middle, send that right back where it came from. And we're going to go station to station here, just first and second after consecutive base hits. I was contemplating sending Rogers to third, but we'll just play it safe here in the early goings. And now here's Pete Alonso, already 2 home runs to start his spring. Looking at the first pitch there, and he does get the call there for a ball. And Pete Alonso actually won a Gold Glove Award for the first time last year in his first season with the Rockies. Would have expected more of a Silver Slugger Award, but we'll take the hardware nonetheless. One more season on Alonso's 3-year deal he signed in the year 1 offseason, as that changeup tucks in there for a strike, now 1-2. We'll skip ahead in this Alonso at-bat, now a full count, the 7th pitch upcoming. And a good at-bat there from Alonso, working the count, drawing 7 pitches in that at-bat, as the bases are now loaded for Ezequiel Tovar, who really excels against left-handed pitching. Looking at the first pitch down and away. A good first inning here from the Rockies lineup against lefties. Eduardo Rodriguez trying to work out of a jam. Swanson, a diving stop there at short, flips to second as Tovar able to beat it out and avoid the double play to end the inning. So the Rockies are on the board as a RBI ground out there called a fielder's choice for Tovar. And now runners on the corners for Jose Trevino. Trevino looking at the first pitch there as that gets over for a strike. Now the 0-1 from Rodriguez. And he rips that to left. It's going to go over the head of the left fielder. Off the wall. We're going to send the runner home. I think Trevino will send back to first, though. I think we caught him in the jam. And the runner nailed out there at home. Tovar could not quite make it. A good relay throw. And I thought with that 70 speed, we're in the clear. Trevino, poor base running all around. I had Trevino going to second. I honestly thought they were going to throw to first and get him in a little pickle, but 2 do come around to score. An eventful inning there for the Rockies as Ryan Feltner on for the start. And we're going to stick to what we did last game, just, work the at-bats here, not really pitch in this game, but Feltner, not a good inning, gave up 3, and the first 4 base runners reached. So he gave up a single and then a 2-run home run to the first 2 batters. The Cubs would tie it, and then ultimately score 1 more as they now lead 3-2. Bernabel in a hole now. The 0-2 count from Rodriguez. Now the 1-2. Bernabel trying to sit there on the changeup, but swing and a miss as the first man of the second inning goes down swinging. A good at-bat there. A good rebound from Rodriguez as now Kyle Datris up to the plate. First pitch swinging, getting under that one, sending it to right field. Rodriguez cruising out through the second so far. The number 9 hitter set to bat, and that's Benny Montgomery hitting a whopping 400 so far. Spent all of last year in AAA as the primary center fielder. Maybe not too far away from cracking a platoon rotational role at the MLB level. A swing and a miss there on the first pitch. Back-to-back swing and misses now, an 0-2 count. Swing and a miss on that one. 3 hacks, 3 misses, and we just could not get it going there in the second inning. Poor effort overall after a very promising first. And we'll see if Feltner can rebound a little bit on the mound. I'll actually just showcase how he does here. A ground out walk, line out, and then a pop-up. So we will just get 1 more inning of hitting before simming the rest of the way. Here's Nick Senzel. Grounded out to short, I believe, his last time up. Looking at a first pitch ball. Now the 1-1. Senzel going to ground that to third. And another ground out for Senzel. Rodriguez now on cruise control, setting down 4 in a row, or make it 5 in a row if you go back to the end of the first. And now Brendan Rodgers. Fouled off the first pitch, now the 0-1. Got under that one a little bit, send it to center. That's pretty deep down to the tip of the track. And secured for the second out of the inning. And now here's Luis Robert Jr. Singled in his first at-bat, came around to score. First pitch swinging on that one, sends it foul. And now an 0-1. A good rebound here from Rodriguez, as I said, after that haywire first inning. Robert's sitting on that one. Sends it deep left center, and that is out of here. The first home run we've hit with Luis Robert Jr., and it only took 2 at-bats to accomplish, as he is continuing to hit well in the spring. Already 4 home runs throughout the first 8 games or so, and this is an investment already paying off. Hopefully he can continue this impressive hitting into the regular season, but you got to be impressed and happy with what he's doing so far in the spring. That one goes 427. The 2-out solo home run ties the game, and we're still alive here. Now Pete Alonso upworked a walk last time. This time first pitch swinging as he misses there at the fastball. Now a 1-2 count. And that one just clips the outer part of the plate. You got to swing at that one. But we do go down, not before tying it up, on a Luis Robert solo home run as we're knotted up 3-3 heading to the bottom of the third. We'll give Feltner like one or two more batters here. Give a leadoff single now. With that, we'll just go to the pen. We'll go with Taj Bradley, our probably most consistent reliever last year, although he didn't do as well when thrown into the closer role. Gives up back-to-back singles here. Does get a double play, though, then an RBI single. So it's now 5-3 in the top of the fourth. Justin Steele on the pitch. Trevino reaches on an error, but nothing doing after that. So now Kevin Kiermaier to lead it off. Now a Cub as he strikes out. And then another strikeout. So 1-2-3 there from Bradley. As now Jamison Tyon on to pitch. And the Rockies go down 1-2-3 again. We'll leave Bradley out there for maybe one more inning. See if he can work out of this one. Runners on the corners will now go to the bullpen here. And we'll go to Scott Barlow, one of our additions in the offseason. And he gets out of that one. No one advances. Now Luis Robert Jr. back up to plate against Mario Casto. And another home run from Luis Robert. And he is now 3 for 3 with 2 solo home runs. Just absurd hitting from Robert in his early tenure as a member of the Rockies. Trevino reaches on a walk. We'll go with a pinch runner here. I guess Leandro Rivas. Let's see if Bernabel can do anything at the plate. He strikes out. Now we need to sub at catcher. And we'll go to Ronald Cabrera. We'll let Danny Jansen have the day off. We'll leave Barlow in for now as he does a 2-out walk and then a flyout. So another good inning from Barlow, really earning his spot. Jared Jones on to pitch. A walk from Datris. Now Benny Montgomery on. Go hit and run. And that works out. Now runners on the corners for Senzel. He walks now. Bases loaded for Brendan Rodgers. An RBI single. Now Luis Robert Jr. up. Let's see what he could do. Daniel Palencia now on the mound. And Robert strikes out there with the bases loaded. No outs. Alonso an RBI single as the Rockies now lead. Tovar a bases clearing double. And we post 5 already here in the 7th. Ground out and then a strikeout. So now we're up 9-5 here. Bottom 7. And we'll go to Justin Lawrence. Really trying to earn a roster spot. He and Felton are kind of at the end of the road unless they can prove otherwise here. Kind of their last chance. And he gets a 1-2-3 inning. Now Datris up against Julian Merriweather. And we get a leadoff single. Now Benny Montgomery, fielder's choice. And we'll go hit and run here. Pop up, so Montgomery on first. Now Brendan Rodgers up and he flies out. And I'll go with some defensive subs. At second base, we'll put, I guess we'll put Amador at second. What else we got here? I guess Robert, you know, he's done enough. We could take him out. We'll put Joe Adell out there. But otherwise, I think we'll leave it the same. Lawrence still out there for the bottom of the 8th. Ground out, fly out, ground out. So 1-2-3 from Lawrence. A good start to the spring for him. Here's Joe Adell to lead us off. A ground out now. Pete Alonso 1 for 3 on the day. Tovar 1 for 4 with that 3 RBI double. He strikes out. So now bottom 9. And I think we're going to put in Ken Hughes, our closer from last year. And we'll enter this game and see if we can, not really a save situation, up 4 runs, but we'll try and see what we can do with Ken Hughes. And Andrew McCutchen batting .571 so far in the spring, trying to stick on this Cubs roster. But Ken Hughes, our stud closer, we traded for at, not at the deadline, but last season we traded him straight up for Brenton Doyle from the Baltimore Orioles. Going back to our year 1 MLB draft, swing and a miss there, now 1-1 count. Ken Hughes was the top closer in that class, and he's now on our team. A September call-up last year, a good strike there, cutter, bottom of the zone. A September call-up last year went 7 out of 7 in saves. No earned runs, only 3 base runners allowed in that span with 13 or 12 strikeouts and just 7 1/3. So absolutely dominant last year. And then McCutchen sends that to left field. Senzel there, and he collects that for the first out of the inning. But Hughes was dominant, and we were kind of considering pursuing a closer in the free agent market. But with Hughes' success, we didn't really find that necessary, and we're just going to ride with him this year. We get the call there, 98-mile-per-hour fastball. A little up and in, but we'll take the strike. Now the 0-1 to Max Stassi. Going to send that foul in a quick 0-2 hole to the Chicago catcher. Go slider away. See if we get him chasing. He's not chasing on that one. I think we'll try again and then maybe go back and raise the eye level with a fastball. And the dirt. And he's caught chasing. Cabrera collects, sends to first. And now 2 away on the Ken Hughes strikeout. 1 out away from coming out of this one with a win. Pinch hitter Connor Norby. No stats yet. Maybe his first at-bat of the spring. Looking for his first hit at least. That one up and in. Almost clips him. A 1-0 count from Hughes. Swing and a miss, that 98-mile-per-hour heat. And I think we'll go to the changeup for the first time. And that one going to slap it the opposite way for a base hit. As the Cubs still alive here with 2 away and a runner on first. Now Kevin Alcantara on. And we actually almost traded for him at the deadline. Instead, we sent Cal Quantrill to St. Louis. As the Cubs did not want to part with Alcantara. Had they wanted to, we would have acquired him instead of making that deal with the Cardinals. Although the Cardinals did end up winning the World Series, if I recall correctly. And now 9-5 here. 9-5 game, 0-2 count here. See if we could finish it off a slider right down the plate. Not where you want to put it on 0-2. And I think now we'll go back to the fastball. That one way up and in. Hughes a little inconsistent with his control. Or maybe just trying to push these batters off the plate. Right back to the fastball. That one away. As it's now a 2-2 count evened up. Then we go to the slider this time. That one just misses low. So Alcantara fights back after an 0-2 count. Now full. The runner is in motion. We go fastball and that misses up and in. And now the Cubs have a little life here. Even more life. As Alexander Canario up to the plate. The 20th pitch of the inning for Hughes. And we do get the pitcher's friendly call there. Change up a little in, but an 0-1 count nonetheless. That fastball to third. Bernabel collects, fires to first, and that will do it as Ken Hughes gets the save, and the Rockies win again as we advance to 5-3 here in the spring. A very good start for a team with playoffs on their mind here in year 3 of this franchise. Another good win here in spring training. We're now 5-3, and Luis Robert Jr., 5 home runs on his first 16 at-bats. Just absurd production so far from our big offseason acquisition. And we'll see if he can keep it going. We'll sim ahead a little bit quicker from here on out. I think we'll do maybe one player lock game with Aaron Civale when he makes his spring training debut. But other than that, we might jump into another game or two. But last year, our spring training episode was an hour 45 minutes, and I have no idea how we stretched it so far. So we'll kind of keep a quicker pace, especially with the 26-man all but settled for the most part. So here, bottom of the 9th, bases loaded for Nick Senzel here, trying to drive in the game-winning run. And we do get the job done. We'll check out the box score. It did come there in the bottom of the 9th inning, so let's see if Senzel had an RBI. He did, so I'm assuming Senzel there, a walk-off single to win the game. You'd like to see that now against the Reds. Clayton Kershaw, now a member of the Cincinnati Reds. Another key moment here, down 1 run here in the bottom of the 8th. We'll just simulate to the end, and we do fall there 4-3. So now 10 games through the spring training here, and I think we'll make a little bit of changes to the rotation. We actually already put Senzatella in a long relief role, and 8.22 ERA so far. Not going to get it done. Rolison has been all right through 8. Feltner, decent, not really that good through 8. Kyle Freeland set to make his first start this go around. Flaherty has been solid in 8 innings, and Lambert not bad in 10, although the whip a little high. So we do want to get Civale his first start of the year, and I think we'll bump out Jack Flaherty just because he's been a smidge better than Peter Lambert. And I guess we'll just roll with it in this spot for now. So we'll sim ahead to Texas, and that's when we'll jump into a player lock game with Aaron Civale. 14-4 there against the White Sox. 2 hits for Senzel, Rogers, Luis Robert, another multi-hit game. He's batting .391. 3 for 5 was warming Bernabel. And Robert, another home run along with Benny Montgomery. And Luis Robert abusing his former team as we post 17 hits. Let's check out if any of our old guys here. So El Harris Montero is 1 for 3. He's only batting .193 so far. It looks like Drew Roma was not. Oh no, he went 2 for 4 at the bottom of the lineup there. Drew Roma batting .368. But Montero also hit a home run. Roma had a double. And those were 2 of the pieces we traded to the White Sox. Now we'll simulate here. Yoshinobu Yamamoto against Ryan Feltner. John Curtis on. We're up 1-0 here in the bottom of the 8th. And we do hold there. Let's check out our pitching in this one. A triple there from Tovar. Feltner, 4 scoreless innings with 3 strikeouts. Aaron Civale actually pitched in this one. Looks like that was his second appearance. He pitched a scoreless inning. So when we pitch with Civale, not going to be his debut, but it will be his first start. Lucas Gilbreth, 3 strikeouts in 1 inning. And Ken Hughes, his second save, still has not allowed a run. So now Kyle Freeland on to make his first start of the year here in spring training against Logan Webb, who I think actually started last year's All-Star game for the NL. And we do win 1-0. I'm sorry, we won 4-3. I was looking at the last game where we won 1-0, 4-3. And with that, we're now going to jump into this game with Aaron Civale and check him out for the first time. Date Palm Field here for some Cactus League baseball. I was going to say Grapefruit League, but correction there. The game of the week actually here in the spring as the 8-5 Texas Rangers here against the 9-4 Colorado Rockies. And it's been a very good spring for our Rockies so far. We look to make the playoffs for the first time in this series. And our first look at Aaron Civale, he'll be instrumental in that as our number 2 pitcher in the rotation. 2 outings so far, gave up a couple runs in his first appearance, but now his first start of the spring, so hopefully he can be a little more complete and put together a good outing in our first view at him in this series. Jose Trevino behind the dish as we start with the first pitch strike. Evan Carter leading it off, a very good season last year, and he's really emerging into one of the best outfielders in all of baseball. A good fastball there, clips the inside part of the plate, and a quick 0-2 count here to Carter. We'll go away on a breaking ball, and he swing and misses as he's chasing that slurve. 3 pitches and a strikeout for Civale to start, and that's exactly what you like to see. One with the breaking ball off, and he's way in front of that one as we get the K. Good start here for Civale, and that'll now bring up Nathaniel Lowe. First pitch sinker just misses, a good placement there. And now we'll go to the cutter this time. That one does clip the outside part of the plate. So far, good placement on these pitches from Civale. The 1-1 fastball just misses. Another good, borderline pitch there. That's kind of where you want it, depending on who the umpire is. That sinker way up there in the zone. Nathaniel Lowe going to take that deep. And what a change in that at-bat. A couple pitches on the border there that could have went for strikes. Maybe would have changed the way we approached that at-bat. But Nathaniel Lowe jumping on that one and taking it deep as just 2 batters into this game. Civale, a 3-pitch strikeout and then gives up the home run. Nathaniel Lowe, 341 feet. Just barely made it over the fence out there. Had Robert been playing a little more deep, maybe could have came down with a snagged home run there. But 1-0 Rangers. Not an ideal start here for Civale. Getting up a home run, just the second batter of the day. And with that, they'll now bring up Corey Seager. And it kind of goes without saying, one of the best shortstops in all of baseball. Batting .389 so far in the spring with an OPS near 1.300. Now the 1-0. That fastball just off. We'll see how Civale can respond after the long ball. Civale signed a 3-year, pretty much $30 million deal with a team option. A quick 3-0 count now to Seager as that cutter does get in there for the first strike of the at-bat. Now a 3-1. Fastball sent foul, and we'll have a full count now. I think we'll go back to the slurve here, even though it is a full count. Let's see if we can get some chase in there on the outside part of the plate as he does offer at it but sends it foul. So we'll go back to the fastball here up in the zone. Another full count to Seager. That one just misses as this umpire is not giving us any leverage here, any leeway. And now a man on after the home run. 1 away here for Adolis Garcia. Chops that sinker foul. Go right back to the sinker. Try to get a double play ball here. That one 2 up in the zone as Garcia sends that opposite field for a single. And now 3 straight base runners now, starting with the home run, a walk, and now a single. As Civale facing Marcus Semien now, already 16 pitches into this first inning. They're going to send the runners here, and that works out perfectly as it split Tovar and Rogers there. And now it's 2-0 Rangers. The hit and run executed to perfection, and not a good first sight so far for Civale. Now Josh Young up with runners on the corners. Trevino, a good block there. And it's now a 1-0 count. Got to get a double play ball to get out of this one. That one way low, maybe in the dirt. Now a 2-0 count. Good sinker there, gets inside. Now 2-1. Go cutter that time, well beneath the zone. And now a 3-1 count. Swing and a miss on the fastball there. 22 pitches already in the inning for Civale. Another full count here as that sinker sent foul. Go a little more off the plate this time. That one misses low, and now it's going to be 2 walks, a hit, and a home run allowed in this inning for Civale as the bases are now loaded. We'll go take a mound visit real quick, see if we can calm him down a little bit. Ezekiel Duran on. Batting just 161 in the spring so far. That sinker misses now. The 1-0. Bernabel over to second, to first. And we just get Duran there at first. I thought he beat it out initially, to be honest, as we do get the 5-4-3 double play to end the inning as the Rangers strain the bases loaded. 2-0 now after 1. And now on for the second inning, Leody Taveras to lead it off. Hopefully Civale can get out of this one a little quicker than the last one. 26 pitches there in that first inning. A ball there to Taveras. Fastball gets in there, outer part of the plate. Then we'll go back to the fastball. That one's sent to right field. Luis Robert Jr. giving chase, settles underneath at the tip of the track, and that's 1 away here in the second. And now Jonah Heim up to the dish. 3 straight gold gloves for the Texas Rangers catcher. First pitch sinker there, well beneath the zone, chopped foul. Civale has very good clutch rating, very good movement and velocity. The strikeout stuff not really there though, but he navigates through base runners very well as Nick Senzel settles underneath for the second out. A good response here in the second. Now 2 away for Evan Carter, struck out on 3 pitches to start the game. 1-0 count. The fastball sent to left, Senzel a late reaction there, and that's going to drop in for a bloop single. Actually, Carter stretching for 2. The throw offline, and Evan Carter, aggressive base running, gets the job done. A throw, not really a good play there from Senzel in left, and we brought him in to take Ahmad Rosario's spot as our utility man. Kind of offers more prowess against lefties, which we needed off the bench, and in a platoon role, although Rosario was tremendous last year in that spot. A ground ball there to Tovar, the Gold Glove winner from last year. And now that'll send us into the bottom of the second. Now the top of the third, Corey Seager will lead us off. Probably the last inning we'll get in here with Aaron Civale. But the Rockies actually have a 3-2 lead now. Speaking of Nick Senzel, he hit a 3-run bomb in the bottom part of the second inning. And the Rockies now have the lead. 1-0 count, or I'm sorry, 0-1 count. Now a 1-1 count after the fastball misses high. Grounded up the middle, Tovar into the shift there from Seager. As another ground out there to Tovar. 1 away here in the third. Adolis Garcia on now, a single that back in the first inning. Sinker off the plate. Now the 1-0. Civale, the 40th pitch upcoming. That one sent foul, going to be a 1-1 now. And as I said, probably the last inning of work we'll see here with Civale. The 1-1. Good slider there from Civale. Haven't really seen too many breaking pitches. I think we'll go right back to it. The 1-2 to Garcia. Slider a little too off the plate. Now evened up a 2-2 count. This time we'll raise the eye level, go with the fastball. That one's sent to center field. Garcia maybe got a little too underneath that one. Benny Montgomery settles underneath, makes the play. Now 2 away in the top of the third. Here's Marcus Semien, an RBI single to start his game. The last batter maybe that Civale faces here. A deep rip there to right field. Robert off the glove, and then he gets it on the deflection. How often do you see that in this game? I don't think ever. And it took two attempts there from Robert, but he comes down with a good concentration. The Rockies up 3-2 here, heading into the bottom of the third. And with that, the Rockies do go on to win this game. Luis Robert hits his 7th home run of the spring. Zach Veen comes on as a pinch hitter late in the game. There you see him, number 73 there, manning right field in the second half of this game. Veen, only his 6th at-bat of the spring, hits a home run, and we're actually going to get a player lock game in with him as we take this game of the week 8-3. Civale, a decent outing after that rough first inning, but he rebounded strong, and hopefully he can get a little bit better as the spring goes on. 8-3 here from Cactus League Baseball. So overall in that game, I think 6 base runners from Civale, a few strikeouts. Now Peter Lambert on for another outing here against Brady Singer against the Royals. A key moment here, up 2-1. John Curtis on the mound, a couple base runners on, and we do hang on there to win 2-1. Yanquiel Fernandez, a multi-hit game. Other than that, pitching very good after Lambert. I mean, Lambert only gave up 1 in 4 innings, but scoreless with Freeland, Bradley, Antone, Curtis, and Hughes. Ken Hughes gets another save, and now we'll kind of make some adjustments to the lineup and see what we're working with. Actually, we'll just adjust the pitching rotation right now. I think we do want to get Max Fried in. Flaherty, we kind of gave a little rest to. So Lambert, Freeland really haven't had much time. Ryan Rolison's had a bunch of innings. He's actually pitched well. We'll just put him in a long relief spot for now. We'll give Taj Bradley a little rest. He's been pitching phenomenal so far. So we'll throw Fried in there. Freeland, Civale already in there. Lambert. I think Lambert we can give some rest to. We'll throw Flaherty in there. And we'll kind of just leave it as is for now. We'll throw Flaherty up a little bit. Actually, no, we'll just leave Feltner in that 2 spot. So we'll sim ahead 5 more games and then kind of mess with the lineups a little bit here. Tied 1-1 in the top of the 9th, and we do win 6-1, so we scored 5 in the top of the 11th to win this one. 4 hits from Warming Bernabel, 3 hits from Benny Montgomery. Amador had a home run, and very good pitching from our bullpen. We'll just kind of move through here quick. 8-1, though. I mean, we're scoring this many runs. We got to check it out. Luis Robert, 2 more hits, 2 for Tovar, 2 for Bernabel and Datris. Bernabel having 2 very good games there in succession. Triples from Thompson, Rivas, and Montgomery as Ryan Feltner struck out 7 in 4, only gave up 1 hit, and some good attempts there out of the bullpen as well. Some had 3 more games. We win 7-2. We're just rolling here in the spring. 2 hits from Alonso and Datris. Home runs from Alonso and Datris as well. Max Fried, not a good outing, 2 earned in 1 inning out of the bullpen. And we're just hopefully we can carry this into the regular season. I mean, 14-4, we've now won, 8 in a row or something like that. Another game here against the Royals. 1-1 in the bottom of the 10th. And we walk it off there in that we actually took it to the next inning. Walked it off in the 11th. And we're now 15-4 here. 20th game upcoming against the Diamondbacks. 3-3 in the bottom of the 8th. And we win again. We're coming out with these late inning wins. 2 hits from Pavin Smith, 3 from Amador. Senzel and Amador, homered. And then our bullpen after Flaherty was scoreless. Ken Hughes, his 4th save of the spring already. His ERA at 2.16. Now we'll just keep moving along here. 10 straight wins as the Rockies are 16-4. The best record right now in all of spring training. A save situation here for Ken Hughes, the tying run on third with no outs. And the Guardians do come back to win that one. We'll check out the stat line there from Ken Hughes. He doesn't get the blown save. Blown save goes to John Curtis, but Hughes 2/3 of an inning, 2 earned as he catches the loss. So now 16-5, our 10-game win streak is snapped. And now we'll have Dylan Cease. We missed out on the Dylan Cease sweepstakes this past offseason, which forced us to go for Aaron Civale instead as a backup plan. So we're heading towards the end here. We'll simulate the next 3. A 7-0 win here. We'll check out some batting stats. 2 hits for Thompson. 3 for 3 was Ryan McMahon. He's getting it going. Santander had a pinch hit home run, it looks like. 2 hits for Veen and Cabrera. Zach Veen actually homered in this one, and a double, so a lot better than what we were able to manage with him. Kyle Freeland, 5 scoreless. His ERA at 0. He's not allowed a single run in this spring training so far. We'll simulate these next 2, bring us to 20 games. Another 7-0 win. Back-to-back 7-0 victories. Our pitching has just been phenomenal. Luis Robert, it looks like he had another home run, as he did. Make it 8 now for Luis Robert Jr. 8 home runs in the spring, and our pitching absolutely phenomenal. 5 scores from Civale, a good rebound from him, and everybody else scoreless out of the pen. So 24 games now played. We'll simulate this last one before we make some changes to the rotation. 4-4 here in the top of the 9th, and we do fall there to Chicago, as we are now 18-7 on the spring, leading the Cactus League, also better than any team in the Grapefruit. So the best record right now in the major leagues. And with that, we'll just keep moving along here. Max Fried, his last outing here of the spring. 7-4 Seattle. We do have the bases loaded, though, for Warming Bernabel, 2 away. And we came back to win. This team is just looking good. 6 runs combined there in the 9th and 10th as we took this one. 3 hits for Michael Toglia, 3 for Amador. Santander had a home run. 4 earned there from TJ Antone, our big relief acquisition in the offseason, but a 2-inning win for Ken Hughes. Only 1 hit allowed through 2 innings, 3 strikeouts, and we love to see that. Jack Flaherty now on the bump. 2 home runs here from Michael Toglia as we actually fall there. We're up 6-4. We lose 7-6. Pavin Smith 2 hits, 2 for Toglia. And Toglia 2 home run game. Luis Robert had another home run, make it 9 now on the spring. And he is just on an absurd pace. Hopefully he can take that into the regular season. Bottom of the 9th here. And we fall there. Gregory Soto blew the save, it looked like. Or actually got the loss. I guess he got the blown save and the loss, although Ken Hughes gave up 3 earned in just 2/3 of an inning. Not pitching well down the stretch. Top of the 9th here. And we fall again, so that's 3 straight losses. And we're actually going on a little bit of a skid here towards the end of spring training. We'll simulate this last one before the end. And we lose there 3-2. So kind of a bad stretch there, losing 7 out of our last 10 after a 10-game win streak prior to that. So we'll throw just one of these reserve guys in for the last start. We'll kind of shut down Max Fried at this point. And I guess we'll go to Ryan Feltner, give him another start. Likely going to open in AAA. Taj Bradley hasn't really gotten any work here down the stretch. And Kyle Flynn going to end at 21 innings pitched with no earned runs. Absurd run from him. We'll shut down Lucas Gilbreth, already 16 innings. Very good outing from him. Ken Hughes will leave in there in case we have a save situation come up. Curtis will shut him down. Very good numbers from him. He's been super reliable over the past couple years. I guess we'll leave Scott Barlow in as the setup man. And leave Lawrence and Antone there with Soto for the last game of spring training. So we're going to go up against a right-handed pitcher. Is there anyone we want to get some extra at-bats in? Luis Robert, 10 home runs in 50 at-bats. On pace for 20 home runs per every 100. That's an absurd pace there from the superstar acquisition from the offseason. Joe Adele batted 178. Nolan Jones only 41 at-bats. I think we could kind of just leave it the same. I don't really see the upside of switching things around at this point. So we'll simulate this last game, and all the stats will be on record. Bottom of the 8th, tie game, and we do win. So we conclude spring training on a high note here. 10 hits for each side. We had a walk-off win there in the bottom of the 10th. Maybe a home run from Amador. As we're now set to, chop down the roster. We'll look at some stats real quick. League leaders in home runs. Definitely want to look at that. Luis Robert with 10. Didn't even lead the league. Rafael Devers with 12. Edouard Julien with 11. Mike Trout there with 9 in the Cactus League. So Luis Robert, a remarkable spring from him. Really hope he can carry that into the regular season. But we'll just kind of go position at our player stats overall here. 10 for Robert. Adiel Amador had 4 home runs, batted .293, slugging at .586. So that's really encouraging. Not too far away from the big leagues, and a potential switch-hitting shortstop at 22 years old. Good glove, good arm, decent speed, but do want the bat to come around a little bit more and show some more consistency there. But a very good spring from him. Not quite ready for the big leagues, but very good sign. Pete Alonso had 3, only hit 187 though. Kyle Dacus with 3, very surprising. Slugged only .387, but had 3 home runs. 3 from Nick Senzel, batted .367, slugged over .550. Santander, Pavin Smith, Benny Montgomery, a bunch of guys here with 2 home runs. RBI leaders Robert, and Benny Montgomery batted .311, a center fielder with C potential at 70 overall, 23 years old, slugged over .540. So another guy probably not too far away from the big leagues, very solid with speed and good fielder there with decent contact traits at this point. Tovar batted .246 with 12 RBIs, no home runs, but you like that average, I guess, that'll pass. .306 batting average from Bernabel, 1 home run, 11 RBIs. Amador, Senzel also with 11 batting average. Senzel, Toglia, very high up there. Pavin Smith had a very good spring last year as a spring training invite. Almost made the 26-man roster out of the spring, but not quite. We had a little bit better quality on the roster, but another very good spring from him. 40 at-bats last year, batted .275, but I'm not quite sure if he's going to make it. I think we just have, again, just better guys ahead of him. But very productive. You like to see that. A bunch of guys here batted over 300. Amador at .293, Thompson at .275, Danny Jansen, only 26 at-bats. We didn't really need to see too much from him. Trevino batted .245 with a home run. Cabrera, .263. So with Trevino's edge, in the field, I think we'll give him the backup catcher spot as we kind of planned. Although Cabrera, not a bad player, but at deep potential, probably just going to keep sliding at this point overall-wise. On base, Santander, Robert, Senzel, Jones, Toglia all over 400. Slugging Robert at 1,000 even through 51 at-bats. 660 for Pavin Smith, over 600 for Santander. Amador, Jones, Senzel all up there as well. 3 guys with OPS over 1,000, Robert, Smith, and Santander. Doubles leader, we had 3 guys with 7, Smith, Montgomery, Bernabel. 2 triples for Tovar, Montgomery, and Rivas. Rivas, 2 triples, only 15 at-bats. What about WAR? WAR leader was Robert, Montgomery, Cabrera, Amador, and Trevino all over 1. Walk percentage, Alonso, Santander, Robert lead the way. A lot of strikeouts, though, from Jones, Rivas, McMahon as well. Isolated power, Robert at 667, just absurd. Pavin Smith over 300. Amador, Santander, Rivas, Jones all up here. And then we'll just kind of breeze through pitching as well. Feltner had the most innings pitched at 4.15 ERA, 1.65 WHIP. Not bad numbers, but probably not good enough to crack the pitching staff just based on who we have in front of him. Civale, Kyle Freeland, like I said, 21 scoreless with a 21 scoreless innings pitched with a WHIP under 1. Just phenomenal numbers from him. Already seeing some improvement. +1 for hits per 9, +2 home runs per 9, and we have him at $13.8 million this year and $15.5 million next year. As good as he's been, as reliable he's been over the course of his career for this organization, kind of can't wait to get that contract off the books. Lambert, Flaherty, Fried all at 20 innings or more. Rolison at 19 along with Senzatella. Strikeout leader Feltner with 22, Rolison with 20. Flaherty, Civale, of course, starting pitcher is going to be here at the top. Relievers, though, Antone, Soto, Gilbreth, Lawrence, all good strikeout rates. ERA leaders, Freeland, Barlow, Curtis, Lawrence, Bradley, Gilbreth, Rolison. Very good pitching, very good hitting throughout the course of the spring. Our players were just very productive for the most part, and you love to see that. Hold 6 from Lawrence, 5 from Barlow and Antone. We'll just check out WAR, and then we'll get into the spring training roster. The 26-man roster for opening day. Freeland, Rolison, both over a half WAR. Fried, Bradley, Feltner in a similar territory with Civale, the only player with a negative WAR. So we'll go over to the roster now. We'll kind of make our cuts. We know Fried, Civale, Flaherty, Lambert are all going to be on the roster along with Freeland. That's going to be our rotation. Senzatella, he was decent, but I don't know if he quite cracks it. We'll leave him there for now. Rolison, very good, 19 innings, 2.84 ERA, a 5-1 strikeout to walk ratio. But we have a couple lefties ahead of him. But he is going to be our top priority if one of our lefties do go down. So our bullpen, I think, might just stay with all these guys. Lawrence was the biggest one on the fringe, but 1.35 ERA, a WHIP under 1 with a very good strikeout to walk rate. Ken Hughes, probably going to open as the closer, even though he wasn't the best, not the most consistent, but we do like him as the closer of the future going ahead. Catcher is going to be Jansen and Trevino. We'll send Cabrera down to AAA. First base, Alonso, Michael Toglia. Toglia batted .350, 2 home runs, really made a case for himself, but I don't know if he can quite squeak out a roll. Datris, a decent fielder, but not going to quite cut it as a utility man for us at this point. Bernabel was also very impressive. All these guys that we're going to have to be forced to send down. Bernabel batted over 311 RBIs, good fielder, but just not quite ready at this point. Not going to beat out Sterling Thompson. Tovar going to make it. Rivas will send down. Amador, like I said, he batted very well, but I just don't think he's quite ready, quite where we want him to be at. Still only 22 years old. Should see some good growth in the early parts of this season. So Fernandez was not the most impressive, nor was Joe Adell. Luis Robert Jr., of course, going to be there. Montgomery hit .311. He outpaced Adell and Fernandez, but I don't know if we're quite ready for Montgomery over those guys. Pavin Smith, very productive at .340. Zach Veen, we can go ahead and send down. So we have to send down 5 more players at this point. And I think at least 3. So how many pitchers do we have right now? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we have to send down 2 pitchers at least. And, I think Senzatella is going to be 1. And I think it really comes down to Feltner or Justin Lawrence. Do we want that extra long relief guy or do we want an extra middle relief guy? And Lawrence and Feltner, both guys kind of on the fringe So say we do send one more down, we'll have to send down 3 position players at least. So I think Toglia, Montgomery, probably Smith. I mean, we have a bunch of lefties already, I feel like, on the bench. Adele, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to calling him down. I kind of saw him as a platoon guy for us, but the bat just, not there in the spring, although he was a little bit better down the stretch at B potential. 27 years old, though. Montgomery kind of went cold there towards the end. So I think we'll give Montgomery a little more time in the minors. So that really brings us now to Pavin Smith, Toglia, Adele. So I think Sterling Thompson is going to stay. But we do have to make a decision here between Justin Lawrence and... So the last roster spot really comes down to Feltner or Lawrence, Smith or Toglia. I think we will leave Joe Adele on the roster just with that speed. We need a guy off the bench who can pinch run. So I think we'll send down Pavin Smith, even though he was very good for us. He's going to have to clear waivers. That does leave us with 5 outfielders now. We also have Thompson and Civale who could play in the outfield a little bit. And then Toglia, I think, is the other guy we're going to have to send down along with Lawrence or Feltner. So Toglia, he was amazing, but just not quite crack the roster, with Civale, Thompson, some better reserve guys than him. So that really leaves us now Ryan Feltner or Justin Lawrence. Lawrence, 15 strikeouts and 13 and a third. Ryan Feltner led our team in strikeouts, 4.15 ERA, a little more sporadic than Lawrence was. We'll have Bradley in our long relief role. Let's take a look at the rotation right now. So, of course, Max Fried will start opening day. So Max Fried will start opening day. We'll have Civale following him. I think we'll have Freeland number 3, just because he was so good in the spring. He's been here a long time, probably the longest tenured Rocky, along with McMahon. We'll have Flaherty, and then Peter Lambert, who was 8-0 last year in 11 starts. And then we'll kind of configure the bullpen a little bit here. So obviously we do have to call down one guy. And I mean, we don't really need the middle relief depth right now. We can kind of use the extra long relief guy in Feltner. But I think Lawrence was just better overall. So we will send down Ryan Feltner, as I think, like I said, Lawrence was better overall. So that's our 26-man roster. We're kind of set all the way, through our AAA, AA. And we'll just kind of go down the line here again. This is our look at our rotation. Our pitching staff. I think we will keep Curtis as our setup man. Or actually, Barlow might be good in that spot also. I think we'll have Antone as our top guy out of our middle relief spots. Maybe our 7th inning man. Soto, Lawrence, and Gilbreth. So, I mean, our bullpen, all our pitchers in general are very good here in the spring. You see a bunch of ERAs here in the 1s. Soto at 3.78, Antone at 4.11, Bradley at 1.42. Our starters very good overall. And then we'll take a look at the lineup, just go down the line a little bit. But this is where I'm going to leave you, folks. Thank you so much for watching. I know it's kind of it can be dull at times, going through spring training, but we have to do our due diligence and kind of get reps in with these players and see how we're clicking all cylinders. But a very good spring training. We end at 20-11, a half game out for the best record. But I mean, we did have the most wins of any team. We played one more game there than the Reds, or a couple more games than the Reds actually. We end at 20-11, very good overall through the spring. And I really appreciate you watching. I hope you stick around for year 3 of this franchise, as I think we're set for our first postseason appearance. And hopefully we can keep the good times rolling. 10 home runs from Luis Robert Jr., by far the MVP here in the spring. But as always, everybody, it's been real, and be well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.